What's good with YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco with a convict's reaction where we smash, dash, and react on this channel. Hey, so check it out. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this new channel. Hit the bell notification, man. Let's get this channel keep on going, man. So I'm gonna do a reaction, and it's gonna be kind of I'm gonna do a detailed elaboration with the NORTENO rap game from back in the days, from during my era when I was a kid, all the way till now. Okay, today I'm gonna talk about today before we go into. You know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go back into the days. Original Norteño rappers, PBC, Proud by Choice, out there in Lemoore. They were pretty dope. Sir Dyno, Dark Familia, Low Down, Gato Mas Loco, Woody, Speedy Loke, all these cats, man. Mousy. You know, it just came out of nowhere. You know, it was something that was a surprise. Because up until then, you'd have you'd have a aggravated assault with some Crips in San Jose. You had fucking was it Doja Click out there in Stockton. You had certain rappers that were kind of like underground, but were kind of like out there a little bit. That some were affiliated, some were associated, some weren't. And the first time I heard Norteño rap ever was in 19. Well, before that I heard Sir Dyna, but he was pushing more of a brown pride in his videos. But the first ever time I heard a Norteño rap song was in Solano State Prison, which was 17 Reasons, man. And I remember walking the yard with people like Smiley from North Highlands, fucking Snoop, right? Badass Snoop, Carlos, Peanut from Southeast Stockton, all kinds of different cats, man, that were, around the yard bumping the shit in front of the Southsiders. How did it not kick off right? I don't know. Okay. I know we had the more stronger faction there on that yard. So maybe that played into it, but that song alone kicked off a couple fights in there. You know what I'm saying? Because they were bumping it, walking around. And I think it was either Carlos or fucking Smiley that got that tape. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was like, wow. And so then we were in Solano, and I think it was KMEL or one of the stations would have the weekly underground rappers that would come out. This was around 1998. And I was sold up with fucking homie Hangout, Rascal. And they were playing the Norte Siding. And for like a couple weeks straight, that was like the #1 song. I'm like, oh, it's just pretty, you know what I mean? Living in the cuts of the East Bay, Cocoa County. I was like, this is just pretty dope, man. And so next thing you know, I'm like, oh man, we got some fucking, some homeboys rapping, man. And I didn't know what to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was dope. It was different, and so I get out, you know what I'm saying? And then all the homeboys have these different CDs. They have the GUN CD. They have the fucking Sir Dyno, Dark Familia. They have Woody. They have all these different channels, right? And I'm like, all these different rappers. And I'm like, pretty dope. And see, I grew up during the era where we were Cholos. So a lot of my homies were bumping Sir Dyno and shit, man. We used to always fucking joke around and shit. Fucking, in my hood, there's two homeboys I was with, right? My homeboy Little Man Mondo and my homeboy Chuco. And we started giving ourselves like little fucking joke names. Fucking homeboy fucking, we called Little Man, who's a Chilango, we called him Macote. Told him when he first came from Mexico, we flicked a fucking booger grenade, right? We called fucking Chuco, because Chuco ended up starting to get fat. We called him Baca Loca, right? And then they called me Pollo Loco. Fucking skinny ass flaco. And shit. And we used to bump all that Locote and all that shit, right? And then Woody as well. You know what I'm saying? Woody was dope. And then you started hearing about different rappers, the 18 with the Bullet CD, the Northern Exposure, Mob Living. And it was just out there. You had different types of rap. You had the Bay Area style with Woody and all those rappers in that little industry. Then you had Sir Dyno more in the Valley, which were more cholos. And they were coming out with movies. And it was pretty dope. And then eventually, during that time era, our crew was the ones that had to go locate Sir Dyno. And I told Sir Dyno everything that happened, where he was at, who was there, and whatnot. And that was because he missed court. And there was concern by brass if he was, working with the feds or not. So when homeboy located him, basically everybody had to strip down to see if anybody had a wire. You know what I'm saying? They were in a bathroom at a restaurant. I told Dyno all this stuff and about the stuff that happened in Morgan Hill, and he confirmed it. And that's when I talk about when we were being given a lot of directives to contact certain individuals. And it wasn't that we had any authority over them. We're acting on behalf of their request to locate these people to plug them in with brass. So the Norteño rap scene's blowing up. Dyno gets indicted, and we're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, a lot of the dudes that were plugged in with us were rappers. You know what I'm saying? Drew Tuxedo, he was plugged with us. Tiny Lokes from Merced, he was plugged with us. He had a big thing, Soldado fucking chain. Gato Mas Loco. You know, Gato was one of the main ones that used to go communicate for everybody. So they were supposed to have we were supposed to have something going on that Cinco de Mayo, which was called the Gathering of the People, and that was pushing the cause and pushing all that stuff. So that's how our crew was plugged into the rappers. And Steve Black Steve from 12th Street was fucking with Never, Low Down, ALG, and all those cats. You know what I'm saying? As you can, if you ever look at some of the videos, he's actually in some of those videos when they were there. That's all connected to us. That's why we're at the San Juan Batista thing. That's why we're at the Hollister car show. I went with Black Steve to Never's house one time when he lived at the tracks. That's how he remembers me. You know what I'm saying? So we were plugged into these rappers. I spoke a little bit about Woody, but that wasn't really as much of a concern. You know what I'm saying? So from there, well, let me fix my phone real quick. You know, I ended up talking to a homeboy from homeboy.com, Frederico. He's from Fremont. He used to do all the videos and whatnot. And he plugged me in. So the homeboy that was working with the Salinas Regiment plugged me in with him. Right? That was from Fremont. And so I met up with him. I was trying to put a project together. That's what I was supposed to talk to Oso Local, because we were going to get more into the rap scene at that time. And further things happen, you know, people get caught up. But I was out there interacting. I'd been to certain conventions where I met a lot of these rappers and shit. And a lot of times I would just sit in the cuts, and then I'd get introduced to them. You know, we let them know who I was. So that's how the rap industry was back then during that time era. You know, things change. I go away. You get these new rappers that blow up, Big Tone. There was always question marks about Woody. You know what I'm saying? Woody was paying. That's 100% facts. There was question marks about, you know, certain rappers in San Fran. The incident when fucking Mousy got hit, which to me was a bad call from the get-go, over a baby mama that the current I was talking to. You know, and I've discussed that whole incident about how his celly told him that he was supposed to move on him. They gave his celly a fucking piece and a rope. And he asked his celly, told him to lock it up with me. He said, nah, he ain't going out that way. But he gave his celly a pass, which was fucking I guess the right thing to do. I guess he felt in his heart like, look, this dude's telling me, he didn't have to tell me, I'm not going to take action on him, but I'm going out to the yard. That's when they fucking hit him on the yard. They had no choice but to move on him fast. And so there's, you know, been a lot of things that have gone on with these rappers. Every one of them was paying something. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's not one that wasn't. And so there was a lot of rappers that were trying to be incognito about what they were really doing out there. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the thing, that how it was back then, is that no one wanted to pay. You know what I'm saying? So if you were doing anything big, you would try to hide from the home. Eventually, we're going to locate you and find you. So fast track. Now you got these other rappers, and they're more talented than ever. Woody was ahead of his time. You know, we all agree upon that. He had talent. But you got cats like fucking Acito. He's not a Northerner, but he's from Northern California. He's dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Rico Tusno is pretty dope, man. You know, he got some shit. You know what I'm saying? GB's latest album. I didn't know if I liked GB as a rapper at first. I listened to that album. I said, this dude's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So you got a whole long list of all these new rappers, and they got a swag about them. They could go bar for bar with almost any rapper, I feel. You know, I think that they're a little bit ahead of the curve than the down south rappers, of course. And that's not me being biased. That's just me keeping it 100 that the lyrical style and whatnot is better with the northern rappers, of course. And that's no shot down south, because there's going to be someone that's going to blow up from down south. But, you know, that bass swag, that Northern Cali swag is a little bit different. You know, Baby Gas, he's not a Norteño. He's dope as fuck, too. So when I see the new Norteño rap, and some of these guys I'm going to put as Norteños that are not, but they're from Northern Cali and they're Raza, they're there. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that's going to set any of these guys back is this. Interacting and doing too many collabs with other gang members. And if they focus all their content on being a gang member, it's going to be hard for them to succeed. You don't see any rappers like fucking the Crips and Bloods could have a rapper that goes fucking mainstream. There's yet to be any Norteño or Sureño rapper that's gone really big. You had Kid Frost that did all right, Little Rob, you know, a couple of those cats. You had fucking Into Deep, who are actually affiliated with the Homeboys. And then you had Woody, who got signed by Coach, I think Coach Records was his distributor right before he killed himself. So I think that the talent is even better now. I mean, there's some dudes that could just fucking go. But I think as long as they have that attachment to the Homeboys, it's going to set them back. Now, it'll be good as far as locally. You know what I'm saying? But locally, that means you're involved still out there in the streets where you're at. Bet you're going to get caught up. And a lot of these dudes have gotten caught up. You've had Homeboys that have had certain charges on them. You know what I'm saying? From Dodo to Little Coner. You know what I'm saying? Other issues where people fucking were not paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that people don't know about that have happened with some of these Northern Cali rappers. Some of them are rocking, straight up, solid, right? The one I can tell you right now that's with the action, that's with the business and the functions, Casper Lokes, of course. Definitely with it, man. Definitely with it. So you can kind of differentiate who's actually 100% with it, and who's there rapping and they got some heat. You know what I mean? And that's no knock against anybody that raps. You know, I think they all have a talent. I think that if I was a homeboy, I'd be supporting all these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Until they show me different. You know, and I listen to all these cats. I enjoy their music. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many that I don't like. If that makes sense. Every once in a while, they have a new booty come on that does just, you can tell he must be plugged in or someone's doing a favor. But for the most part, like that Red Alert album was pretty dope. They had some good tracks on there, man. And I think that if they step away though from the gang element, there's going to be someone that's going to blow up, man. GB's album was fucking dope, man. I listened to that. I was like, I changed my whole view of dude because I never used to really listen to his shit. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people's behavior in front of the camera will make me sometimes look at people different. Like Rico Tusmo, his interview was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. He's a good interview. He showed a different side to him than when he raps. You know, Big Tone's always been Big Tone. There's nothing really changed with him. So as far as these northern rappers, a lot of them are there presently still rocking because they've carried themselves well. Like you really don't hear them talk about other rappers. They don't get into too many beefs. If there's beefs, it's going to be kind of underground. It ain't going to be all out there, man. And that's my reaction to these Norteno rappers today. You know, as before, everybody was trying to make moves and blow up. You know what I'm saying? And some people used the Homeboy platform because they knew that they had a strong base of Nortenos and associates that fucking go listen to that music, which is true. You know, the GUN CD, people got indicted. You know, so everybody's always gonna have to have that kind of paranoia that by doing a rap CD that's affiliated as a gang member, that you could be indicted. You don't hear about no Crips getting indicted. You don't hear about no Bloods, but you heard about Nortenos and GUN getting indicted based upon that CD. You know, this is just a little bit of history, my reaction to it. You know, I like the Norteno rappers nowadays. I think they're pretty dope. I think they got talent. Does that mean I support them as a person or what they do? No, I don't know. I can't speak on that. But I can give them respect as MCs, as rappers, and as what they've laid the foundation for other rappers to follow, like C.O.B. and so forth. Sir Dyno, big pioneer. Woody, you know, all these cats. Even AWAX, who's not a Norteno, he was a big impact on the Norteno rap scene because he's associated with Nortenos. Anyways, this is Convict's Reaction with your boy Flacco. This is my views about the Norteno rappers, past and present.